Remember your word to your servant, because you gave me hope. Psalm 119:49. Oh, we love to remind God of all the promises He makes to us. But what about the promises we make? Hmm. Let's not be ungrateful or a spoiled child. If we hope that God and everyone else around us keep their promises, we must rise to the same standard and do the same thing. We make promises in different kinds of circumstances, but if we do not take the time to remember them, we will easily forget them. Promises made to others. Did you promise to help someone and still didn't do it? It reminds me of the story of Joseph in prison. The baker and the cupbearer were both in prison and both had a dream. Joseph interpreted their dream, announcing that the baker he was going to die and that the cupbearer was going to be forgiven. Then he said to the cupbearer, "But remember me when it will be well with you, and please show kindness to me and make mention of me to Pharaoh and bring me out of this house." Genesis 40, verse 14. Once released, the cupbearer forgot his promise, and Joseph stayed in jail for 2 more years. Who did you leave in an unfortunate situation because you forgot your promises? It may be a member of your church who you promised to help grow spiritually, and now you all forgot about it since you don't see them in church anymore. Or maybe it's an elderly member of your family whom you forgot to take care as you promised. Have you missed being grateful when someone has done you a favor? Take the time to think about it. What promises have you forgotten? But let your yes be yes and your no, no. Whatever is more than these is of the evil one. Matthew 5:37. Promises you make to yourself. They are the resolution of the beginning of the year, beautiful goals that we give ourselves to improve a certain area in our life. All these resolutions are wildly made, but rarely held. But there are also promises that we often make after a failure in our life. We promise ourselves to never date this type of person, or we promise to take care of ourselves, or to rest more, or to take vacation after this project, and the list goes on. These promises are very precious. They are usually the only positive point of a tragic situation in our life. Through all this pain, at least I have learned that. But how often do we fall back into the same mistakes? As a dog that returns to his vomit, so is a fool repeats his folly. Proverbs 26:11. Yes, we act like fools when we forget the lessons we had learned the hard way. The solution to not forgetting them is not only reminding ourselves, but to give ourselves the tool necessary to walk in the right direction. The word conversion in the Bible means to adopt a new behavior. This is not done automatically. It is necessary to put in the effort and establish strategies so we don't fall back into old traps. Let's say if you decide that on Saturday night you will not go to nightclubs anymore. It's not enough just to make the decision. You need to replace these evenings with something else, because if you don't, you will feel so alone on Saturday nights. Then you will not be able to resist the temptation to return to your bad habits. If your friends are not edifying, do not isolate yourself. Create a new group of friends. Give yourself help for keeping the promises you made to yourself. Promises made to God. How many times have we made a promise to God in exchange for His intervention? We didn't need to promise Him anything. We cannot buy God. He will not be manipulated by our words. He knows our heart too well. However, our promises are something He hears. When you vow a vow to Yahweh your God, you shall not be slack to pay it. For Yahweh your God will surely require it of you, and it would be sin in you. Deuteronomy 23:21 and also Matthew 5:33. We often see God as a good father, and it is true. He is gracious to us in many occasions. He is slow to anger. But this image we have of a good God can be dangerous because it can cause us to lack reverence for Him. He is very kind, but He remains God, and He has all authority over us. It is good to make promises to God, to commit to Him as He did to us, but we must not forget these promises. Think about it for a moment, and if you need to repent, do it quickly and keep your word. Sacrifices of peace offering are with me. Today I have paid my vows. Proverbs 7:14. To keep our promises to others, ourselves, and even to God is not only a question of fidelity and integrity. To keep one's word is not only a remarkable quality in life in general, but it is also essential for a couple. The more familiar our relationship is, the more we tend not to take our promises seriously. Yet it's in the day today that these broken promises create deep wounds. So while you're single, practice keeping your word. Be a man or a woman of trust and honor.